Frimpong abranti atwa nananom ewonsie do yaya sabrede Ghana hanum se nipa bebre na edwo mo ho agimudi ho nkomo esanse asem no arehuye na abranti ya ye ka ne ho asem ebusia me hwe se nipa dodo na bebusa nsem se eba ne sen ni adeade na eye Dominic Frimpong etimi atwa nananom ewonsie do ne nyina ne ese eye Brekum FC timu no womo ekopie mu ewo Samra Boy a womo ekoboy Ghana Premier League na womo every kwanso a womo eba no na sa to renchem we see ya chese enipa bonifo bi a yesusu se womo eye armed robbers no womo ekoto share eye womo bus no eso a abusia womo tutu ani ade a sebe eye Dominic Frimpong ni ti anye yi a wono de woto anananom ewo ensie do na ensem nyina ekoso no ade a Brekum Chelsea FC womo mpanimfo edin krata ba ansa na hwe screens no so a wo say Brekum Chelsea player Dominic Frimpong dies after armed robbers attack team bus international say nipa bonefo a ekoto share womo team no womo bus na womo di free sam na boy ekwa mu ewo baabi a womo free ba ye Brekum no na robbers foko tututu a wono de etu obuba ni bi kan na womo di ne kopie mu ayarsabe wenya nkwa into on your screens no press release a free Brekum Chelsea FC. Or say on our way back to Brekum from Samra Boy, our team bus was attacked by a group of armed robbers who blocked the road to prevent our passage into Muchema. Womo every Samra Boy bano ena womo bus no akonfo ekoto share womo swam womo si kwan ne se de be ya womo nya baabi emfa na distance way no say masked men wielding guns and assault rifles started shooting at our bus as the driver tried to reverse. The players and staff fled into nearby bushes to take cover into womu edge manager say enipa bonifo a womo ahyehyehye max womo anim ni ade na womo ebeto share womo eso asebe de koba ene se wo hwe se de na etuo no kokko bases ni mu a na ewo se womo edwane na emirika ni mu no na ebinom ekohye nremu ni ade a empanifo no nso eka ho ebie na wo se unfortunately one of our players is badly injured and is receiving medical attention at a nearby hospital waiting to be transferred to the regional hospital. So muchema so mujane ya omunyina do mu ho kan wura no fofi anto ata emetuo ni bi eka wo more players ni mu back. So we are grateful to the police patrol team for its rapid response. Sport journalists who quickly disseminated the information. The town of Ashrisu, which provided temporary shelter for our players, and officials of BBN Gold Stars who have offered tremendous support in Tina Womu Etrema na chese a police for no etimi ebepie mu wo hontema wo eboa wo mu na afin so eyekura edin de Ashrisu no nso no wo mo baabi mo bom ho adwa kakra na BBN Gold Stars nso emu enkrofo nso mpanimfo nso eboa wo mo. So we are also grateful to all well wishers, and last but not the least, the president of the Ghana Football Association for his prompt response in this difficult moment. We will update the general public as development unfolds and wish our player Godspeed in his recovery. Yours faithfully, Brekum Chelsea. Enti arehosemwa ababetuja eno no na chese ekoba ne sa no na ehubehia se mo be call mo a esanse asemu esiye no na ebusia anohye ankasa ne nyina mu no eye the Ghana Police Service for so womo de nsem ababetuja afterwards se betuja se abrante Dominic Frimpong film to on your screens no we free the Ghana Police Service was a Ghana Police launch manhunt after Brekum Chelsea player Dominic Frimpong shot dead in highway robbery attack. It's a say ameno kase there. Ghana Police Service for edi wo mo age ensem ni mu a wo mo bom ho modin se wo behwehwe mu na enipa bonefo a wo mo ekodi se twetwasem ne nyamrasem we no wo mo ewetimi ensa aso wo mu na asotwe bi e ho nom no wo mo di amom na press release a every Ghana Police Service for ho no yen fanto screens ne so enfa mount way every the public affairs unit police regional headquarters Kumase. Also, police on manhunt for highway robbers who shot one dead at Ashresu. And also, the Ashanti Regional Police Command has launched a manhunt for armed robbers who attacked passengers along the Ashresu Kwame Jumo Shreso Road in the Inyehi district on Sunday, 12 April 2026 at about 10:30 p.m. International say enyume no do any fa enasa atwerenchem we see ya Ashanti Regional Police Command for aye umadwen say omo yenhwehwemu pa e de afa ho na eyesa akromfoi omonsa etimi aso mo. So police patrol team responded to distress calls and proceeded to the scene where VIP bus with registration number AM933420 carrying about 30 football players and officials of Brekum Chelsea from Samraboy to Brekum had skyded into a bush while attempting to escape from 6 armed men, 3 of whom were wielding pump action guns. Intina just a woman air trema patrol team no womo ho na womu enya akọ a womu ko pie mu ewo biaya na asem we yesi womu ko na chese VIP bus bia car number no ya dika abubo a sebe bobofo e womu no mu ye be 13 ena umumpanimfo nso ka wo mo eho a wo mo di mirika akohim remu sanse eye akromfo a wo mo ye beye nsia ato ahye wo mo so echese hu etu ekurekure bi nimu a na anu ohyepa. So during the attack, Dominic Frimpong, a footballer, sustained gunshot injuries and was rushed to the Bibiani government hospital but unfortunately passed away while receiving treatment. Another victim, George Uswefriye, 52, was also robbed of 4,500. 2 spent BB cartridges were retrieved from the scene to assist investigations. Not just a woman trema ebra a year etutuo no ekoso no and abrante Dominic Frimpong to only be ekwana we pray ma wo de no kopie mu wo eye bibieni abanya resabia nanso anyama anko ne se de epeno no e ma ne to anana no e wonsie do trema abrante fofo no nso din ede George Wusu afiri a wono nso edi mfinhye aduonu mienu wono nso yewia ne sika about 4,500 no monsa akeka eye to aboba bia ebetimi aboa wo moma umatimi aye nsem ne munhwehwemu. So the Regional Police Command has deployed additional personnel and crime scene experts to the area and is currently on a manhunt for the suspects. The police assure the public that the perpetrators will be arrested within the shortest possible time. The public is urged to remain calm and continue to have confidence in the police while investigation continues. Say Ghana police womo ape nipa ka womo ho a womo ebeye nsem ni mu enhwehwemu na omunsa etimi aso say nipa bonifo we emu na afe nso no womo kai eye Ghana for enyina se yenkoso na enya abotoye mu ni nya gide wo police fo ni mu se emranti a womo di se nipa bonifo sem we no womunsa ebetimi aso womo emu nti we ni nsem a if Ghana police for her about Sha Yera Godwin Ahianyo ono a deputy superintendent of police and ono enanensa eshe sankrata we ase in Ghana police for nsema wo de ababi to dwano eno enebusia ye kokotie ni nyina mu amene wo kase PRO awo kasa edema Brekum Chelsea FC boboku no Yera Isaac Obin waba betwe nsemu efa kwan a akromfo yi eto hye wo mo so ba bia wo mo nam ne kwan nsemu nyina fa so a ene enam so ama ya hwere a very young guy of about 20 years aya arehosem yenkoni nkuti nsem ayira Isaac Obin ede to dwaye ba beto aso de amamo
and not unfortunately you shoot bars near the different bars. And the bus in Kwane Kupi so a mass incident is here. And Tina, the VIP bus, somebody call it. Nay, VIP bus. And Tina just say, Roberts, no face, be a 24 number attack you. The movies are 24. Now, I don't know from a bus then to Kwane. The bus no late, you know, some problem kakao when the games are bunny in ano. You should VIP buses. But players no catch them kwanya nkofo chance ya attack you mo to tubo bas ni mo and as players in your opportunity esi Ghana and sakra na to na eba. Yes, players no yan two bas di two there. And players ni should be the opportunity say no mo si fam. Nti no na omo start omo 22 no e be ko kan bante Dominic from.
Enti Dominic deɛ no ɛyɛ etu a yɛto yɛ na Dominic epie no obehia yɛ ana sɛ ɛfa
he wasn't targeted say yɛ tu akum no
enti no pie ka players no na players no dodo sɛ ne timi pie at that material moment na attack ne ba no almost dodo bɛ sɛ ne timi pie
almost players ni nyina timi pie ka 1 or 2
FM
pie no omo fa ahefa na kwan bi da hɔ ana sɛ omo to nwuram
ebia to omo to nwuram na ebi fa minus area will be like omuni baby anomo ntino baby obenya bia na wa escape ko
chese ebia omunya omutididi mu no ema wote se omutonwuram no omute the sound of say etuo toto ene na mbushi worom.
Oh yes, a bit but the only shot I want you to hear the kind Dominic can pay information.
Na etuo ne kan sa de kwa beso na mu se Dominic etuo aka na odanwuram because obi edwane obi anim baby obi da nti ede na kire mu ko hu se
nti police for arrive sin on elikaka nti omudu sin ho no mo no hu se omoni some of the players who say Dominic eda so eno ne ma omu ya police for the Dominic hospital.
Ebusian for PRO Isaac Obin na watching sim wefa kwan a etu aboba no eka Dominic na chese omo sha ase omo tututu no na players no omadwense omo dwane de afri ka ni mu na wono nso dwane afri bus ni mu bie no na chese etu aboba no ekoka no a enei yente asemude ama Dominic ato anananom ewo ensiedo na ni nyina mu no yensa aka video a ebusia a police for ni kopie mu ho a wo bo moden eboa ye ma wo mutimi ede wo ho free akonfo techi amansem no wo etimi free samra boy kwan no so kopie mu ewo brekum na ohye emrante no wo dimi na ne ade na otimu se ade atom so papa bibi no wokro mo sire a enye ye because this was really an unfortunate incident ato wo mu a ayare ho ye pa now e ba ko hwe video of ebra wo mo sign etimi kopie mu wo brekuma sebe na wo mo fellow player Dominic enka wo mo ho ye ba ensem ne de doso ye dini na ba beso.
Charlie. Minya, Sally, Munkafra, what? Munkafra.
For a year video share no brekum Chelsea FC sebia kwenhia arehosem ato mo na wo mahwere wo mo player ba ko mo kopie mu wo brekum na atimu se wo mo bus na wo mo de koye ne chese bus no ejija akonfa bobo mutua ne ade enti bibie nifo na ede wo mo bus ma wo mo a wo mo etimi esan ekopie mu wo brekum now ye twa ye ni na ye kopie mu wo abrante Dominic Frimpong just 20 years old guy sebe enipa bonifo bi adwemu ntino watimi ahwe ne nkwa na otimu se ne maame ne papa na busuafo wo mo etwa dwadwo yie pa atum sa asem na to mo so me kwaba ene mebeye den ne nam chese wo koya wa mabie me kobobo abawu enua ne se wo mo beti ne se wo mo de hye no ato anananom wonsi edo yenko Dominic Frimpong na busuafie na yenhwe de ekoso ewo ho enso. This is a very sad moment. Video I share, you know, Dominic Frimpong, 20 years old, Brekum Chelsea FC player. Nebusian fee and I copy out Shesade Ebusian for a trajaju musu and area who one cassa or her the surroundings near there and you'll be a better say on 4 bar. And as I braid dear, we're free mwing area ho dear. Now so ebusian dear ni bitimi a fast and same way and who asem no in ya SC every nina muno in some way to me a transcend their coso ama meno kase international media outlet a hodo and I will report this particular incident SC Ghana ha into on your screens no way if BBC News World ebusian BBC African po News World woman so I report this unfortunate incident into a Ghanaian footballer killed in armed attack on his team Brekum Chelsea into BBC News World woman so womodia womo edeba ye eno there other media outlets woman so we for Reuters Africa say Brekum Chelsea winger Dominic Frimpong has been killed in an armed robbery on his site team bus as they returned from a Ghana Premier League fixture at Samratex on Sunday. The Ghana Football Association said International say woman so omodia omodebetu ja eno na so say asemono a transcend day edu chire palma international bodies nyina and as international media outlets in that area. Now W Sports woman so ababe report you say trigger warning in a horrific incident. 20-year-old Dominic Frimpong was shot and killed during an armed robbery on his site Brekum Chelsea team bus as they were returning from a Ghana Premier League fixture at Samatex. According to reports, the robbers fired. International say, baby, asem ne drone, edu achire pa ama media ahodo a omo ama no ni nyina enso de omo ho age ensem ni mu. This is quite unfortunate. A lot of people ashe omo sentiment and omo grieve on this particular incident. Omo chem say eba ne saying e de enko aden se be say ntimi nya adwuma enya enkwa na yokoye adwuma ba no eno ene nda one sign ankofie biem amanfo bebre na wo mode yakọ amabusuafo ene hyeden amabusuafo yen Pinaxtv nso mabusuafo hyeden ewo ho ebusuam yen sorry arehosem we so na yenkopie mu ewo nsem foforo so dia kamia ise Ghana atadwe yate den ne esanse ade ba ko and say one of the pending issues are not Ghana ye need a chire ya pre ho the extradition of the former CEO Edema Maslok Meche Microfinance and Small Loans Center ye mame Sedina Tamakloe ationu mame ya penache ye pa wo Ghana hanum say sebe ni nyina no efa kata sheshe dwiri mu ni ade with her time in office kani ade a efa nensase no ene yedina semo several years ya ma sentence ma mi beba be service sentence no mother Ghana for pre see be extradition ya bonaba US and am no ka say US court aja to muse ma me yembo mbra Ghana on your screens you see US court orders extradition of Sedina Tamakloe ationu to Ghana eno and as abrede aye ni jesem ma papa de ama Ghana fa umuchim se finally US fire de ba ko de ama Ghana ama ye ni age esanse ma mi we ya penache yi ankasa onipa ba ko unkwa chese wadwane akohye US besine ya pewa court proceedings kwa wama na court ehwemu ema sentence no moma 10 years in prison na 10 years no so obeba no abe serve 10 years no eno ene de eda so edite he ya ene US court achemu say be extradite no ede na Ghana. One of the media channels are more reporting issue way a graphic and to share screens and so see US court orders extradition of former Maslok CEO Sedina ationu to Ghana. International say yese achache bia e wonafe and ubeti udwane nyame crouch na say into so for so many years ya prese mami beban finally abiwe puma kwem. Now on your screens you see a US district court has ordered the extradition of the former CEO of the Microfinance and Small Loans Center Maslok Sedina Tamakloe ationu, who has been convicted and jailed by the Accra High Court in absentia for stealing and causing financial loss to the state. Into womu trema maame Sedina maame ebra na wo som se Maslock CEO no sika bi fa ne nsase eni ade ase sika no aboga na mine papa na wo modi asem ne kopie mu e wa Accra High Court no wa ma enti woni ho krampo ena wo mo ema na sa sentence no of 10 years a wo ma pre as wo mensa be so ni mu mana be sentence ende e kwan no aba beda wo in 2024 Sedina Ationu was convicted and handed a 10-year jail term in absentia by the Accra High Court for causing financial loss of almost 90 million Ghana cedis to the state during her tenure as Maslock boss from 2013 to 2016 inti uhwemu ana chese wo mo sentence in the 10 years ebra na woni court na ni nyina ne se wabɔ Ghana ka 90 million Ghana cedis sebe ebra na we yesi o se dem kai from 2013 to 2016 no, which was during the NDC amanyoko no era no na exemwe esiye sabe de US for HM say wo mo be extradite no aba Ghana. Now Sedina failed to return to Ghana after she was granted permission by the High Court in 2021 to seek medical treatment in the US. Following a request by the government of Ghana in 2025, a U.S. district court sitting in the state of Nevada certified the extradition request into Muchema 2021 nimu ena mami the course wo yare ebrana na asem court ena court ema na kwanya so wonko sa ne ho yare mbra eno any 2026 ya afei ena ye extraditing na so ko ye no wa na dwen say Ghana ha de enya de obeba ono mbra na mo mbedi na asem de lai eno ena US district court awatena so a wo magye atum say yembo no ensign embra Ghana na chese eye ni jesema amafo James said this is good sa na wasi ye mpanimfo a wo mpese wo mudi Ghana sika eye de mfata no we don't have to spare them. Now the former deputy attorney general Yera Alfred Chiam Yeboa waba be kasa de afa eyesa ensem we hu now we share screens ne so a o say since Sedina Tamakloe has been ordered by the US court to be sent back to Ghana, it is my expectation and the expectation of every other Ghanaian that when she comes, she will go straight to prison to begin her sentence. Alfred Chiayeboa, former deputy attorney general. In Tinache se umuchema, mami said they say US court no HM say betimi abonaba o my Ghana mu no. Wo bedru pe masa e ma ye ntwentwen so kra. Straight up yendi nanim kan na wonkonko pie mu e wo afiase isanse court no de wo mabua e di aten e wo asem ne ho awie dada. Na wo hwe ba bia nsem ne keka ko ne dia na chese otimi say amanfo bebre eni age about the fact that this particular woman no say no so far extradition ya pre no yensa etimi aka ni nyina mu no Daniel J Alberts onu so akasa e de afa ho no na the US magistrate judge wotina nsem no so say probable cause exists to believe that Sedina Tamakloe committed the offenses for which extradition is sought into. Say oman bi kwa kope extradition and say oman mu di hye bi wo baby a se be ye pese nipa no ye sign ensa ka no wo man ni mu a mo be kire di enti a mo pese nipa no ye bone ba mo man no emu ne no na Judge Daniel J Albert e de abeto dwa say kwa adu ni nsem a wo mo chocho ye nyina e de fa ma me Sedina ho no ye no kre enu nti ena extradition ye hunu se de ye hu na me chese etimi abaso wo honum na ni nyina mu no amanfo bebre nso akye wo madwene wo ensem we hu Yera Ibrahim Ejei wono nso akasa de afa ensem ne wa wo chemu se kwan bia so no wo Sedina okobeu ye mpe kataso memu aso bia se NDC ne wa ba mu ne de on your screens we free Yera Ibrahim Ejei was say no political cover Sedina must face jail na chese eni se o man bia anase amanyo sembia eberera sasem we emu mommone nko na wonko serving sentence ewo prison ehonom we ne nsem a chese Yera Ibrahim Ejei enso ede ebebeto embonten eso. Now a lot of issues popping up about maame Sedina ni arrest no and I say ni extradition no ehu. Now there is a year and somewhat enche yebeko na yakwa kotie efa this particular issue we ehu na ni nyina no efa nchiremu ewo ensem we ehu. I mean the extradition, how this whole issue started and all that. Yenko na yenkotie eye ensem no emra na yebindi enkomo enfa issue we ehu.
United States Court has ordered the extradition of former Maslow Chief Executive Officer Sedina Tamakloe to Ghana to serve a 10-year sentence for multiple counts of financial crimes, including stealing and causing financial loss to the state. The decision delivered by a magistrate judge in Nevada follows Ghana's former extradition request to and marks a key development in long-running efforts to bring her back to face punishment under Ghanaian law. The court ruled that its jurisdiction over the extradition case and over the accused person and confirmed that the extradition treaty between the United States and Ghana remains valid and enforceable. Member of our Legal Affairs Desk, Fatau Bayaga, joins us live with more. Thanks for joining us, Fatau. Now, can you briefly take us through the background to this case and what really led to the extradition proceedings in the United States?
Yes, Sheila, the case against former Maslow Chief Executive Officer Sedina Tamakloe stems from financial crimes committed during her tenure at the Microfinance and Small Loans Center. She was investigated by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, over alleged financial irregularities, including causing financial loss to the state and breaches of procurement laws involving public funds. So, Sheila, in 2024, an Accra High Court convicted her in absentia on multiple counts and sentenced her to 10 years imprisonment with hard labor after she reportedly left the country and did not return for sentencing. So following the conviction, Ghana initiated extradition procedures through formal diplomatic and legal channels to have her return from the United States to serve her sentence. Sheila.
So then what does this ruling by the United Court mean in practical terms? Is her extradition formalized, would you say?
Yes, so Sheila, the ruling by the U.S. court means Ghana has succeeded at a key stage of the extradition process, but it is not necessarily automatic. So in the extradition case or in extradition cases, particularly in the United States, a court's approval is typically followed by administrative and executive steps. So it includes certification by the U.S. Secretary of State before the person is physically surrounded. Now, there may also be some legal avenues such as appeals or habeas corpus applications by the affected person, which can delay the process. So while the ruling, Sheila, is a major step forward, her actual transfer to Ghana may still depend on the completion of these remaining legal and diplomatic procedures.
And she returns to serve a 10-year term here in Ghana?
Yes.
Hello, Fatau, are you there?
Yes, Sheila, I can hear you.
All right, so and she's coming down to serve a 10-year term here in Ghana, right?
Yes.
Abusiafo na chese nchemu a eba no ene say the final and I said the judgment at US Magistrate Court no are making no is more or less like a win for Ghana at this point. Now so process no ebi ewo mu a e wo say wo mo efefe mu ni ade and sana eventually no ye be hu say eye maame Sedina wa ba be pie mu ewo Ghana ha sisi asabre de ye hwe say the processes ahodo a aka ye betimi ede enya maame no ewo krodue mu hanum say no ebe go through na afi de wetimi abe survey yet a 10-year jail sentence Ghana Kodrima. So we are still monitoring closely on these issues. It was updates we bebano with regards to this particular case. The ebebre ashefo. Now let's move on to another trending video over the weekend. No, I caused a whole lot of alarm, raising conversations. I'm for Jim say until when would a government act up on this particular issue? Now the video is about a year also for Penia would a second chance. Sorry. sorry no ano metre yewra adom chedua ono ena ne honsem ababeto embonten so me no ka say adom chedua we nim say for some time now he's been dragged about yesu moja all ton sorry, and to think that amanfo bebre na raise concerns about their relatives, their family falling victims to this whole mechanism yesu moja adewe ene na omudishie bi yare onko hospital ose onko na yesu moja ne de any ade no na amanfo raise concerns. Now sometimes when this issue pops up, asemo eba ne say yera 7 adum chedua de waka say ono de onka say obi anko no yesu moja ne ade but ene amanfo echemu a wa contradicting ne ho esan say wo chemu say yesu moja no esa yare bi say HIV AIDS a raise concern say is this where we've gotten to see they are sorry dane nkofo adwene ana say dey how can you tell us say yesu moja no esa HIV is in what terms? Amanfo Brechim said this man needs to be arrested because this cannot be condoned and entertained in any serious country unless of course Ghana is not a serious country. Now yenko show video no of Ebra na yera Stephen Adum Chedua what this ansem we nyina etodwa.
Nyamia me somono an me betra mo sadia ya Yesu moja woni dinim. Yes. Amen.
Amen.
Offered 1.5. Anna.
Yes, sir.
1.5.
Later now.
Water bottle.
Yes.
Kasian. Shia suku kapu. Kuruwan. Shia gum. Fayesu moja ne bako. Tiano. Shia gum. Fasobolo no mienu ti shegu mix it up. Just matter of stir.
Yes.
Nyum kosisa obewusa afa afe wanyamiaja nyame aba nyame okokudi shegu tianem. In so now she by shining in a gum. What's up? Well, and yes, moja.
Amen. Yes.
Hello. Nino money. Abrade. One answer ben dom. Wait, ni moja. Unyina so. The unem. I mean to warn them. No. Forget about self. And you know Yale. And you know what money. And you know how. Nemo who know who say. Saying I'm in a material. Or no na own num na goom.
Yes.
Or no na papa na own say. Or no na own num na so let no more. What you need no.
Yes.
And you is. And you stroke. And you cancer. And you hepatitis.
Yes.
And you diabetes. And then your pressure. Or no. Anything I want them.
Amen.
What the movie are? Then I say. One mouse are quenching. Te dadu wa umu se ni moja ni wano se nyami ena one no papa nom na no nom na wia
yes
nom da numere 3 adia ti nom da dropa adia nom na wia nom ba numere da paso 3 nom anopa nom ma wia tuasia Nada nasi.
Yes.
At the chair your 4th day.
Yes.
You went out.
You want count.
And this is the video. I raise a whole lot of eyebrow on a social media. Conversations are going on and on. A man for call it out a year. Yera Stephen Adum Chedi. I said, Papa, she said, I said, oh yeah, you too much. Are you trying to brainwash people? Say, womo yarea, they shouldn't go to the hospital. Womo yarea, womo forsake a hospital because or mix it. Yes, mojano. 1 liter or 1.5 liter. You sure about to more. No man. The cancer see betu. Now, what are you saying? And Amanfo Chim said, this is confirming the reason why most of the church members in the Sebe, womo yare kra na womo be kwa yare sabia womo si Yesu moja. Ube huane se womo efia tiase fasa sisu ebiche se. With immediate effect, it was for etimi edi hujuma. And yes, sir, yet to crowd ha. Na Amanfo din Yesu moja na ye hwere ya dofo ene ya dehye enum ti ye hwe se mpanimfo betu ho anamo anase wo mu entu ho anamo ni nyina mu no ukopie mu wo the Ashanti region otumfo say to 2 na ne ho nsem aba betodwa accordingly ebinumu kiremu anache se nana eyemhwehwani mu this is what some people are saying, and I'm sure you'll be wondering why Amanfo Chemu se otumfo ehwehwani ni na akosi se roads and highways minister ekwa kopie mu ewo otumfo ne na ase na ensem otumfo de tudwa no na akotwetwe nsem nyina bi kire se otumfo kamia ye se MPP fo bae na nani nje esanse na nsem you say we're very active near they involving himself in governance near there, and per what he has said right now no crano source otumfo said become is a papa no he's some way somehow linked to the National Democratic Congress because as same work came there a more rem kakra na obebusa said dear potem and otumfo ekanye kalkum yegine kwakwanum yinkutie emfi no a hombra.
Joe. 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 Joe.
Joe. Joe. Joe. Joe. Joe. Joe. Joe. Joe. Joe. Joe. Joe. Joe. Minister for the education engineer for Joe. Joe. Joe.
Abusia eye otumfo say to 2 na wodin sem 2 dwa na chese watwe mu say eye the roads and highways minister wonkoso na wonye adwuma ebinumo baaye wo mantimi anye wo mbekasa ye bedwa wo manumu bekika de wo mbeka ni nyina akire no adwuma no they couldn't deliver into wonkoso na onye na adwuma abra wojan omompeso wo kasa no to talk na amanfo chem say we de subsel judge job edema MPP amanyokun because said otumfo kan ho am na ba ye o mantimi anye enti we de otumfo na ne ade a wo ye de ye hu o eno na amanfo edi hu nkomo e social media no so but then ebi ni mo che say he's just being a patriotic traditional ruler a obeboa said the beya ne man so ebetimi enya ntoma pefra na o man no insiesie papa wo say koso no etimi akoso ewo o man no emu enti we na akokose this conversation amanfo have a social media no so now so ni nyina mu no the ball is in your court anyhow you see it no obetimi ache wadwene ewo ho now let's move on to Sam George we ningo pram rache bidwani na wo double as the minister for communications and digital technology. Sam George nan saying the backlash that is hitting on this man obusia e wa mi say wa winning bi ye twene sere ni abasa de fa LGBT ho de fa ne na hwe ya watch the communications ministry no so the fa ho no eno so kobasa any ade ene nsem bi a wakeka na no na amanfo dragging on galamsey issues omo chemu say ye wa ha ena Sam George be ka che say President John Dramani Mahama de oba sebe galamsey issues no obete ne te a sebe yenko ho back and forth na ade so when they we are still battling galamsey any ade ha adwene ewo kroponyi emu no na Sam George nso ababonten abekasa na wa onim Sam George no you will know that Sam George happens to be somebody or no onye dim out na umbebu asem ngunu so he will definitely come out to speak otimi ko banter for banter ewo X or no any amount for chocho comment na ade when the post that senti no wababonten abekla enu ho a wo chensem nimu efa the exact thing na okayen with regards to Mahama's performance when it comes to Eye Galamsey. Now, yen jibre na yentin chiriwa wade emasa in same way.
You are quoted to have said that President Mahama can deal with Galamsey in 5 days.
No, I never said so. What I said was the president at the time could have dealt with Galamsey in a week because he was commander-in-chief.
In a week, yes. So he's been in office for 97 days.
Yes.
Has he dealt with it?
Well, I believe that action has been taken. It's not been conclusive. And again, it would be unfair to expect that President Mahama in 96 days will fix the rot of 8 years. When I made those comments about President Akufo-Addo, I didn't make those comments at the beginning of his term. I made those comments about 3 months to the end of his term, when he had had the opportunity. He had expended taxpayers' money in Operation Vanguard. And you had rather seen instances of the people who were supposed to fight this becoming complicit in it. So President Akufo, at the time I made that criticism of President Akufo-Addo, he had had the benefit of almost 8 years in office, a full grasp of the state machinery. He had had the opportunity to take action. Under President Mahama, in 90 odd days, and don't forget, his ministers being in office 60 odd days, you've seen action that has recovered 7 forest reserves from illegal miners. Can we do more? Absolutely. Do I expect to see more? Certainly. But again, like I said, it would be unfair to expect that in 90 days, one man will clean the mess of another for 8 years.
So the 1 week point was in relation to the then president?
Yes.
Not that your candidate, our president now,
my tweet was very clear. I said President Akufo-Addo, the buck stopped with him because he was commander-in-chief.
But then did you say that Mahama could deal with it in a week?
No, I never said so.
You said Akufo-Addo should have dealt with it in a week?
Yes.
Okay, maybe my people pull up the tweet just to be clear.
They can pull up the tweet and I can be quoted
in politics, we also need to be consistent.
Yes.
And then we need to be clear in
I think I myself will be able
just
to
be sure. Okay.
Yeah, so that we can all have a look at it. But I mean, as you proceed, I'll find out.
But you admit that the pace that this government is using to fight Galamsey is much slower than we anticipated.
But Bernard, again, it comes back to anticipation. And anticipation is, look, the level of anticipation for me actually speaks to how low we had sunk under the previous administration. That people expect that in 8 weeks or say 12 weeks of President Mahama's government, what they had seen, the mess that we had seen for 8 years will be fixed, speaks to how poorly.
No, don't find it, don't worry. But don't forget that this is not Mahama's first term. So
I'm going to read the tweet. I'm going to read the tweet. Yes. I made a tweet on the 29th of September 2024.
Please read it for me.
The man who is paid to be president has the ultimate power to end this in a week if he wants. He's commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, for Christ's sake. This was the quote.
And is this not generic to a president?
I was speaking to the man at the time. It was made in November. That was the time when we were at our wits' end. That was the time when the civil society, I made this tweet at the time, the TUC had threatened to go on strike. The day the president was meeting TUC and urging them to step down from strike, they issued 12 new mining licenses in forest reserves.
Okay. In terms of forest reserve, by the way, why did this government choose not to repeal LI 2462, which gives the right for people to be mining forest reserves? Looking at the level of opposition to that, to say that you are only removing the president's power to sort of veto the minister, that's quite, I mean, limited.
I hold the personal view that the whole LI should be repealed. That's my personal view.
Would you advocate for that in Parliament?
Absolutely.
But the matter was debated. I didn't hear you.
Unfortunately, I wasn't in Parliament on the day.
Where were you?
I was serving the country at another function.
Okay. Well, sometimes I need to put it on record. So let me hear you clear. You're saying that your personal view is that LI 2462 should go in its entirety.
It should go in its entirety. It should be repealed in its entirety. Because look, I still hold the personal view that Galamsey is a crime against humanity.
Wonderful.
And irrespective of which political party is in government, whether it is the NDC or the NPP, and irrespective of who it is that's engaged in Galamsey, it is illegal and must be dealt with holistically.
Okay. You can tell from the questions I'm asking you that there's a lot of expectation on the government.
Sure.
But also because the victory was very big.
Yes.
And so you've said that 8 years, a lot of bad things happened. But I don't think we've seen this type of victory before, probably except Rawlings' time. So that should tell you that there was a lot of dissatisfaction with the MPP.
Yeah.
Now, how do you interpret that pressure as a new government?
It means we can't fail. It means we can't tinker with solutions. It means that we should not try or carry out trials. We must go straight. If our decision is to deal with something, we must be forthright with it. We must deal with it because look, the Ghanaian people have entrusted us with a certain level of leadership Like you said, that's unprecedented. Not even Rawlings, with the exception of the 92 Parliament, which was boycotted. There's been no competitive parliamentary election where a president has the kind of majority that President Mahama has now. It is a clear statement of intent on the part of the Ghanaian people that they expect us to be ruthless with dealing with corruption. They expect us to be candid and forthright with dealing with graft and anything that affects the livelihood of the Ghanaian people. They expect us to deliver with candor in everything that has been entrusted to us. And that's why, for me, I hold the view that it's not in line or in tandem with the kind of margins that we've been giving if we do not go straight and deal with issues as ought to be dealt with. And I'm setting the example in my
for Communications and Digital Technology, Sam George, and at what church and in same efa a year the statements ne nsema hodo waka about galamsey ne kwanya no person ka galamsey no yetimi so ano immediately ne ade no ochemu say one can say President John Dramani Mahama majiction sebe just like that no wati puana galamsey no echo, but then linking it to the previous administration led by former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who has been in governance for a very long time no na oche said na NMC konia de and said he has been in power for a very long time na galamsey still na sebi ensuo ni dane melokne ade no enunti enema no kwakasaye no. But then looking at President John Dramani Mahama no on said dan sevi enough days yebetimi campaign to President former Akufo-Addo, but then yeshemu kra na Akufo-Addo didn't really do much to salvage the issue when it comes to galamsey matters. But President John Dramani Mahama de woni mujidie se obetimi ayi bibi de aboa ama galamsey nsem no ano abrase. So this is what na Sam George echeche mu a opese opruvi to the people, and as a Ghana for binuma wo mo twe ne srani abasa was social media, so particularly and wo tie drag Sam George pa social media and wo chemu say there's not what amanfo hunu no, and I said wo mote no no wo cheche mu mo ati ase say the comparison they are trying to do right now, just few days Mahama has been in parliament abaimuno and no dear yentimi find justification at all. So Sam George and ebinum say Sam George wait there you go explain tire, because you are always explaining and a man can say and a man can say and a man can say and a man can say. The internet never forgets into the bia near country Sam George in the picture and then the voice didn't send me or can ye near the above 2 months so near man reference Sam George when I can't say yo. So to me say one of the aswa form and as the MPs are under the NDC administration no woman said that peace of mind because of in Semo Makika previously no one of them Sam George, but he keeps on defending himself now no day not yet dragging for the issue of SIM registration ya de and also about bonting be defending who be cheche mu bebre ene or kasa about galamsey amafo James Sam George. He's trying to outsmart Ghanaians, but he can never outsmart us, because once yakase see and answer any day sa, and we have videos to back it up in Tisane Bebano. See right now we don't know for Sam George the next thing he would come out to explain about himself, but he should be able to. Now on other matters no Kevin Taylor one also Eden Sembia Babetuja, and this has to do with former Maslock CEO and the extradition no IHM Sabi de neighbor BPMU back to Ghana no Kevin Taylor Babonting Ebusia Wabeka Sadia found which you say whether she served under the NDC administration or not. My yenye katasumu mwasunye because she's an NDC. Let us man a crime na ombefi the sentence, which is a 10-year jail sentence no accordingly yenko na inkuti nsemwa Kevin Taylor wode etuja yeba yebetwaso.
To come to Ghana, she needs to serve her time. Say 1 day or say 2 days or say 3 days or say 4 years. So if she wants to contest, she has the right to her lawyers. She has the right to the court. I believe say she has to be extradited to Ghana and then also face a year the court. Ghana let's put this kind of silly political argument aside. Adia enye. Yebesi achichiri man na mommy enye honest about it. Yenim so obia on the political side. As I sit here, I keep telling Ghanaians, there's nothing like neutrality in politics. No. Metihai, my job is simple. My job is to make sure I keep the NDC in power for 42 years. That's it. I am not here to give or create any opportunity for the MPP to come to power. That is not my job. My job is to block the MPP from coming to power. And I'm not going to do that on the idea, say, I will say, be chantro. I will say, idea, no kre, no make us say, no kre. And I say, I need to create an impression, say, NDC is filled. And I say, NDC kuno, angels in Guano. No. What is clear is clear. This woman needs to come back home. Or your NDC, I don't care. Or she can also hire lawyers to defend her in court. But jail term, she needs to come and enter the jail of Ghana. Very, very important. Into moment, you're very clear about some things. Now, you maybe a EDD agro na again say you bet my dada and nipebi I play politics with everything. No, because say these things are nye juma. It will become difficult in the future to prosecute people. Now, kind of a creative avenue be say, Bra Ghana, beji political appointment, we are nipano nejani. That is what the NPP they have created. Now the NPP created a dibia to system nim. The young piglets. The young MPP, grassroots na omoba app ni nyina edomutrim say yenya tumi a na ewia Ghana na ewia sika ni bia kogwa abrochi na akotena abrochi te sekufu admo ebusuafo no e de say MPP for no what they do. Inti that is the kind of niche, that is the kind of ideology MPP right now they are rallying around. Sanka MPP honest political party and kende they will be the people leading the charge to bring Oforiatta back home. But because the party from Ekufuado Bawumia himself, who is basically a liar, and every liar, all we know is say Bible cracker, Obia oya truth, Obia kromfo. Bawumia being a liar, he would never speak on Oforiatta matter because on himself Oforiatta Jania would benefiting or helping his political career because on himself Oforiatta ba omo eba say obobe campaign akromfo ni Oforiatta be bo mudin. So you see Bawumia is very very lip tight when it comes to Ken Oforiatta's matter. Ekufuado Nkebi, MPP, so-called National Executive Councillor, and Kokora Mutua Fujene, and Brewa Sebio Omonufu Agogo, they are not able to speak on Ken Oforiatta's extradition. We are not supposed to be here talking about extradition. Ken Oforiatta is supposed to be human. The MPP is supposed to be a party filled with human beings, to say, we need you back. Come and prove to Ghana for say, from Kufuor to Ekufuado to the last messenger in the MPP, the Enye na ye wia Ghana fo ye de tumi mo ye om de tumi ma ye wi om nkotena brochiri, but they can't do it because the party, the bile party no akoma ne bonyo no party na akoma dan yem no a party a om ya kromfo party. So why would you give power to such people? Because when they go to Tescon and they go to the communities foolish fools who are following MPP, all my dear nyina say Oforiatta ya ye betuma ye bi, and that is their new slogan. If Oforiatta can do, I can do better. That is the MPP for you. Do not underestimate the MPP. The biggest punishment between the MPP is to prevent them from coming close to power for the next 42 years. That is the biggest punishment we can give this group of piglets. Because right now, Omomotoni is simple. So Oforiatta, and yes, if Oforiatta can do, we can do better. We are going to steal. But they are sitting on the sidelines. Samira and Akrom for they are sitting on the sidelines. After your marking in a view for MPP for right now, can Oforiatta create an impression or party him? And a young MPP patriot or say, media minya to me, maybe yes, academic Ghana because can Oforiatta ye. And these are people you cannot.
Abusia Kevin Taylor and watching in same say looking at it no say yenyina ye name say ye ma me Sedina at you no or ye NDC ni or serve during the NDC era and as every day she has fallen victim to stealing and causing financial loss of about 90 million Ghana cedis to the state. Na enom na manfo binumu chese since NDC what power idea mami your background sha omo de court cases near de be brabras ama yebe hu ane say 10 years na kra she would not serve it. And a man for chum say, is Mahama President John Dramani Mahama really going to pardon this woman, looking at the detriment of a yesterday and semno ese etie? For those of us are yen sheda any and semni mu ye no and how everything unfolded and semni bedru say no we yabeko akwakutie the details of the whole issue. And aside that, no, say no, baby extradition case na kwakudru no. Can President Mahama interfere? Nina ewo audio ebeko akwakutie no emu yenko na yinkutie nsem we embra na yento ansem no so emawo.
The United States Court has ordered the extradition of former Maslock Chief Executive Officer Sedina Tamakloe to Ghana to serve a 10-year sentence for multiple counts of financial crimes, including stealing and causing financial loss to the state. The decision, delivered by a magistrate judge in Nevada, follows Ghana's former extradition request and marks a key development in long-running efforts to bring her back to face punishment under Ghanaian law. The court ruled that its jurisdiction over the extradition case and over the accused person, and confirmed that the extradition treaty between the United States and Ghana remains valid and enforceable. Member of our Legal Affairs Desk, Fatal Bayaga, joins us live with more. Thanks for joining us, Fatal. Now, can you briefly take us through the background to this case and what really led to the extradition proceedings in the United States?
Yes, Sheila, the case against former Maslock Chief Executive Officer Sedina Tamakloe stems from financial crimes committed during her tenure at the Microfinance and Small Loans Center. She was investigated by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, YOCO, over alleged financial irregularities, including causing financial loss to the state and breaches of procurement laws involving public funds. So, Sheila, in 2024, an Accra High Court convicted her in absentia on multiple counts and sentenced her to 10 years imprisonment with hard labor after she reportedly left the country and did not return for sentencing. So following the conviction, Ghana initiated extradition procedures through formal diplomatic and legal channels to have her return from the United States to serve her sentence. Sheila.
So then what does this ruling by the United Court mean in practical terms? Is her extradition formalized, would you say?
Yes, so Sheila, the ruling by the U.S. court means Ghana has succeeded at a key stage of the extradition process, but it is not necessarily automatic. So in the extradition case, or in extradition cases, particularly in the United States, a court's approval is typically followed by administrative and executive steps. So it includes certification by the U.S. Secretary of State before the person is physically surrounded. Now, there may also be some legal avenues such as appeals or habeas corpus applications by the affected person, which can delay the process. So while the ruling, Sheila, is a major step forward, her actual transfer to Ghana may still depend on the completion of these remaining legal and diplomatic procedures.
And she returns to serve a 10-year term here in Ghana?
Yes.
Hello, Fatal, are you there?
Yes, Sheila, I can hear you.
All right, so and she's coming down to serve a 10-year term here in Ghana, right?
Yes.
Well, then what does this ruling by the U.S. I mean, so then authorities are in Ghana now. So in Ghana now, we automatic that there are further legal processes or possible appeals that could delay her return. Fatal, did you get that?
Hello, Sheila. Hello?
Hello, Fatal, did you get that?
Please come again.
Now, so as I asked earlier, what does this ruling by the U.S. court mean in practical terms? And is an extradition to Ghana now automatic, or are there further legal processes or possible appeals?
Yes, so actually, this case strengthens Ghana's use of international legal cooperation to enforce criminal convictions beyond its borders. So, in fact, it signals that Ghana can successfully pursue extradition of convicted persons who flee or remain abroad after sentencing, especially in financial crime cases involving state funds. So it also reinforces the principle that conviction in a competent court can form a strong basis for extradition requests under international treaties. So more broadly, Sheila, it serves as a warning that leaving the jurisdiction does not necessarily shield individuals from serving sentences, particularly where countries maintain extradition cooperation agreements.
All right, thank you very much for joining us this evening, and that's my colleague Fatau Bayaga giving us update.
Though the extradition no the magistrate court no ama order no now, so it has to go through processes where the Secretary of State of the US no omunyina do munsabe hihya ase ni ade bedru Ghana krana say legal processes ni ade krabitimi aho ten sentence amount for him say maybe through this no President John Dramani Mahama can decide to pardon her, but the baby really if the president is going to pardon her or not ninyina ehunsem ebetoja yede ebeba besomo na ansa na ebe sorry so no na anoda yede nsem bi eba ye efa eye Toyota Voxy enya akwanhia ne ade ewo krum ha yetete se the National Road Safety Authority for HMA and said they are banning the use of Toyota Voxy as commercial vehicles ebe load passengers na do mo akoni ade ade sense so mu chema the model of a Toyota Voxy no wo ma ye say entimi enko long journey any ade ade na so ye hwe dia ekoso ewo krodwem hanum say na akwanhia no ya adoso enti they want to ban the use of Toyota Voxy as for commercial vehicles. And no and I'm so ama Voxy drivers for Ghana krodwem ha ede omunsem abetuja omuchim say because one person mo banning to oma pekuti kwan bi so and wo mo robi omusanse first no nanka duties are ede that Toyota Voxy no so no 70,000 Ghana cedis so endo mo ni ka say duty baako anase duty da Voxy baako eso no 7 million Ghana cedis a wo mo dwen ho a wo mo entiase a wo mo nyina ede wo mabufu ababe gu abai no eso yenkotie ensem a wo mo ede atodwa ye ba ye beto aso.
We see any policy or any program that will facilitate trade and enhance government revenue, we go for it. But if that policy is going to impact on our business negatively, that's why we'll kick against it. And that's what we see now. That is the challenge we are facing now. For example, a product that we paying duty formally about 70,000 on a Voxy car has been lifted to about 7.something million Ghana cedis. So the question we are asking is...
hold on. Paddy, hold on. I mean, how is this possible?
It is possible because on the 2nd of April, we put in a declaration, and then it came out that a 2012 Voxy, the duty element on it was 7.something. And I can give you the evidence, if you don't mind. I can send you the evidence.
Give me the evidence.
A microwave
send me the evidence, let me see.
A sleepers that we bring in from China, about 42 cartons, now has been lifted to about 160-something thousand Ghana cedis. These are what AI publican is doing to the business community. Now, it's not just taxing our profit, but it's even taxing our capital. And that is why we've complained several times. We've gone to Ministry of Finance, we've complained to the minister. In fact, we met the CJ, the Commissioner General. He attested to the fact that yes, there has been some increase of 40% since the introduction of the AI. But we've seen that it's moved over 40 to 500%, some are over 100%. And that is where, when we even ask for appeal, the route of appeal is not there. When we ask where do we have to go to appeal, formally we used to go to the customs to put in our appeal. Now we cannot do that appeal at cost, and he assured us that customs is still holding on to the appeal system. But when we go there, they'll ask you to go to Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance will go to which decks are you going? We don't even know. When you go, they said there's a committee that sits every week, once a week, and almost every appeal that we put in Winston has been declined. Almost every. So if we are not careful, what we'll be seeing in the recent time that is going to come, that you're going to see the high increase of price of goods and service in the market. Because just imagine a Toyota Voxy that is being sold for 160,000 in the market. Now the duty value is about 7.8 million.
Well, you've sent this thing. I've seen it.
Yes.
The total is 7,960,257. Now, hold on, Paddy. This clearly you would know would be a mistake.
So the AI makes mistakes. That's what we're asking. AI is coming to correct the mistake.
If you hold on, you would understand.
Now AI publican is also making mistakes. So the artificial intelligence can make mistakes. We should agree on that. So with the question we're asking, what data did you feed to the AI? That is why most time we're asking, when we ask government to rationalize the post system for us, for duty purpose, they said they don't have a real-time data. So, and then we said, if that's the case, what can we do to have a real-time data? So that when you feed, it's garbage in, garbage out. When you feed it into the AI will come out with it. Because
Abusianfo na chese wo mo tremu a Ghana ban ne eye Voxy drivers ending year because mo pese mo bro mo adwuma asede a baabi a mo de fefa no ni duty increment ya de no enya de a ebeboa na enkomo twetwe no ekoso no onipa ba ko a wono nso a join the conversation no Sammy Flex wono eye the PRO edema eye nyumtuni Shatawale na wono nso ade aba betu dwa se ensem no sebe wo mo ka no na so person chese Voxy no ekunkum nipa dodo na eba ne sen na Voxy ni timi kunkum nipa wa brekure nipa ene sika na chi enti sebe the way mo drag issues no mo ma na yese Voxy no na ekum nipa ne yenkan hunu se nipa ene ti akire se nipa ankwankop operationalize the vehicle no kose a vehicle ni yeden ekobo nkrofo na se ekukunkum nkrofo nti yenkotie Sammy Flex nso said ode ne nsem etudwa
ora yeah na me se mamu twisa Voxy bi mi sasa me sumati but I say nyansa na was asem no I say ofo I say nyansa na was asem no I say form style because Voxy is who and I'm going to go be. Okay, Voxy be coming. Voxy coming. Ego. Me could naturally cry. Voxy be to you. There be. Judge. Voxy coming. Voxy na coming. There be. And if I better now Voxy and working in Kwasia driving and I could accident. It's mo pensim biaka. Munya car no na man from find the amount bay. Na mon fat drivers nenkasa. Talk to the drivers. One was that Voxy could be that. Na sana must start here as a moto kunipa. Na Saka been a sprinter was then, but could be no. The sprinter. And a sprinter kunipo sprinter and a sprinter kunipa. Talk to the people. Munya is and come away. Neighbor and come on here.
Sammy Flex NIT nsema wono nso edetudwa na ohweka na wotim na Toyota Voxy ni bi branded Shaxi na chese eka eye kasa Shatawale ede running the Shaxi business no ehum eno no wochem se yesema muntwi Voxy a wo de wenya ho asan branding ede ba be ye adwuma no wochem se asema wo mo ka no ento asomu esanse ka na nka sentimi nkum nipa ma ni nyeye enti na waka kosi se eye ahyenkafo na wo mo eka eye Toyota Voxy no wo mo ene na mo nsa so ema akwanhia no doso ewo ya kwantempon no eso enti wo mo nhwe no ho asem no mo nka na wo mo nyai se wo mo de sobo no ebo eye car no in particular se Toyota Voxy ese no sa asem ne de ento asumu ba akuse kura na enzemu ebeto jama for chem say well Sammy Flex is quite making a point sanse emu ne se empempi no mfomso no every eye ashenkafo no eho ni nyina mu no ensemo a eba for Voxy we hu no echemu say 7,000 Voxy vehicles imported into Ghana are not suitable for long distance travel on our roads. Abraham Amaliba, CEO National Road Safety Authority. And these are some of the reasons omopesi eba ni Voxy no mu chema says Voxy a kraba krom ha no emu 7,000 there sebe yentimi emfa nko eye entwa kwan a ewa se bia wo free ha ufika so no akọ eye kumase a otimu se ekwan ni mu wakakra ena omu chemu se sa Voxy cars no dodo na ye kra ede ba ye mamu hanum sei no enya de ebitimi ede akọ long journey enunti osha these are some of the reasons they want to ban the use of Voxy as commercial vehicles. Ninyina mu no former health minister Yera Okoboy ono nso wabekasa na nsem a oka no kamia ese yesi Sammy Flex nsem no kan ye ni supi ono nso kiremu a eniema bebre ene de akwanhia eba eye Ghana hanom sei de di kan ya hyenkafo de etoso biem no eye kwan no asebe car no enam so no enti say ebe attribute it to the car in particular alone no I say no and sheda insisi so ye emfa no now ye beche bre na yetie said the yero boy training semo SCFI.
It's like when a mosquito bites you, you are the host, the mosquito is the agent, and the environment where you live is the environment. For road traffic accidents, there are three principal items that you have to look at, and each of them can result in accidents. First is the driver, who is the host, the vehicle is the agent, and then the environment is the road. You realize immediately that most roads that are double lane, where you have a separation between the cars going in opposite directions, the rate of occurrence of collisions and deaths is way lower. And that's why a lot of people have been pushing that this government should take the dualization of the Accra-Kumasi road, and of course other roads that have been dualized very seriously, so that the chance of head-on collisions happening will...
This is the car we're talking about, the Toyota Voxy.
Absolutely. Now, the second one is that if you have a driver who is not trained, and I'm not saying a driver who is not about knowing how to drive. You know, one of the few professions that people assume immediately you can move a car, you are qualified is driving. But a driver who sits in the classroom or is taken through a training program for even just one day will learn a lot of things that when you address leads to reduction of accidents.
Right.
And I don't want to go into them and all that, but we must understand that if you've taught a driver that, listen, when you have any sign or feel like sleeping, park. Like, first of all, communicate to your passengers that I'm dozing off and I need 45 minutes of rest. And then after that, we'll get back on the road. When you let the driver know that, that will save his life and the lives of the others, that driver now, when he's tired, will not keep on driving and go and kill people. Bro. Number two, when you make a driver understand that no matter how urgent the call is, don't pick. Put your phone on silent. When you are taking rest, during rest stops, go on your phone and check messages and all that. That alone can save lives. So I don't want us to assume that once Voxy is getting accidents, then it is the mechanical architecture of the Voxy that is resulting in accidents. And then the third one, of course, is the vehicle. So I've spoken about the driver, I've spoken about the road, and then the vehicle. And most of the time, if not all the time, 95% of the time, the problem is not with the vehicle or the road, it's with the driver. But in the past 3 months, if the MTTD, that's how they call it, they should come and tell us all vehicles that have been involved in road traffic accidents and the kind of vehicles they are, and see whether Voxy will lead. The Voxy craze came because it's like it's a new item or new type of car among the cars that are crashing already. And so you see a lot of people making noise that, hey, this Voxy, what's happening? Is it that there's a problem or not? So I'm also not saying it is 100%. Of course, apparently I learned it's a left-hand drive or so that has been, it's a right hand that has been got to left hand.
Yes.
Well, that can introduce, I'm not, of course, a mechanical engineer, but that might introduce some imperfection in terms of the function of the car. But Moro, if you are driving a Voxy at 70 kilometers per hour or 80 kilometers an hour, even if the worst happens, if the car suddenly stops or even the car is veered, you can go quietly and go and park. But if you are driving a Voxy at 140, 150 kilometers an hour, and worst part is that you're also trying to avoid some pothole and you make some quick turn. Even established brands like Jeep, Toyota, whatever, Lexus, can go off. The vehicle that Anthony Joshua lost friends in, it was a Lexus. One of the safest and most expensive 4x4s on the road. So, with all due respect, what I'll say is that I'll plead with my brother, look, the report is coming from the National Road, how do you call it? Is this safety authority or whatever?
National Road Safety Authority.
With all due respect. Again, when you study the implementation of programs and participation in health policy or public policy in general, you have to go through some motions. It must not come from only you. You must sit with the people that the thing will affect.